want to shift to Waterbury now, where the mayor is providing an update on the water main break.
Let's listen in live.
Start recharging the pipes within an hour or two, I think, is the expectation. That's barring some other issue that may pop up. As you know, as I said, the infrastructure here is quite old. That's why Thomaston is shut down, because we're in the process of relining that, because we've had these problems out there as well. So that's kind of where we are right now. We did cancel schools today because we expect a number of schools will lose water throughout the day, and we thought it best not to have students in the building while that's happening. And we'll just keep you informed as things develop. But we expect that this will continue draining until sometime early this afternoon before we can get in there and start working on it.
At this hour, what's the number of people impacted?
Do we know how many people are impacted yet?
Less than 1,000.
Oh, come on up here. Sorry. Brad Millay is our superintendent of water here. So right now we think it's about less than 1,000 people that will be affected.
And that's in Waterbury, not Watertown.
It'll also affect some of Watertown because of the service that goes up into there as well. And they've been notified. In fact, Watertown was here last evening as well. So right now they're running off of reserve tanks. They pump it into tanks up there. So they do have some storage capacity that they're running off of at this point.
I just want to clarify, you said it will probably be draining out until late afternoon.
Early afternoon.
Early afternoon, but you said you could get in there in about an hour still?
No, once it drains out, once the pipe is empty of water and the crews can get in there to work, they can't work on it right now because it's full of water. Once it's fully drained, which should happen sometime early this afternoon, then they can get in. They expect that they will be able to get the pipe recharged within an hour once they can work on it.
So this is really a waiting game right now.
It is, unfortunately. Had the entire pipe blown, we would have had less of a problem because it would have drained much more quickly. But this is just a relief valve. It's a 2-inch opening. I think a little bit later this morning they're going to try to open some hydrants down here that will help. One of the problems is this is a main transmission line, so there aren't a lot of things that run directly off of it that we could open up to help drain it along the way. It's mostly a closed system till it gets to our plants here in the city.
Can anyone talk about the decision to keep part of this road open as this is draining out? Should people avoid the area? What message do you have for?
I mean, obviously it would be best if people could avoid coming through here. Right now there's no need to close the road. As we work on it, I don't know whether that will change. It's not a main thoroughfare. There's a couple of businesses in here, so you know, I think if people can avoid coming down Huntingdon Avenue in this section, they would be better off doing that. But at this point they can still get through.
So you have, for the hospital, you have reserve tanks. Is there any concern about those tanks potentially running out of water? What's your contingency plan in case that were to happen?
At this point, I don't think there's much more we can do.
Right now there's probably 5 million gallons of water sitting in the tanks up there for the hospital and that area of Bunker Hill and down. One of our foreman, Joe, is currently working with the hospital to figure out if we're able to set up tanker trucks for the hospital and pump directly to them should they run out of water.
I guess what would your message be to residents who may be impacted by this today? What should they do? Should they boil their water if they have any running out? Or
I think the problem is going to be they're going to run out of water at this point. So if they have bottled water, if they can get it, I would do that for now. But I don't expect it's going to be a long-range problem. While this is draining out, they will continue to have some water down here. And then, you know, they should just be prepared to go for a few hours without water today.
All right, Mayor Pernaruski there in Waterbury, other city leaders providing us an update on this water main break that we've been following for the last almost day or so now. It's impacted about half of the city. About 1,000 people could still be impacted today. Just talking about their decision to close schools and, of course, how they're handling the hospital situation as well. This is still an ongoing situation. It looks like this could go until early afternoon still, until they can get in and work on it.
Right, which could bring us into the evening hours, but not just Waterbury. We just heard them saying Watertown, as well as Thomaston also dealing with some issues as well. So a headache there.